You're listening to Edge of Real, a podcast for women rediscovering who they really are, beyond the rules, roles, timelines, and expectations. I'm Kristen, and I am so glad you're here. Hello, my lovely friends. Today, we are talking about identity, but not in the way people usually talk about it. We're going to explore rediscovering our identity as a frequency, something you can embody right now. We're going into how your identity, who you believe you are in this moment, creates the frequency that shapes your reality. When the roles shift and the life you've built feels too small, you are feeling this tug toward wanting something different, something more you. Instead of waiting until you've lost the weight, or gotten the degree, or healed from the heartbreak, or figured it all out, what happens when you live as if you already are on the other side of that? What happens if you live as your highest self, the you know you are meant to be now? That's what we're exploring today. I have seen time and again that the biggest transformations in women I work with come not from asking, how do I get there, but from asking, who am I when I'm already there? For most people, this shift is huge. When I started walking into a room as the version of myself I wanted to be, not someday, but now, my energy shifted. I spoke differently. I took better care of myself. I made braver choices. About a year ago, I started playing this little game with myself. I imagined my higher self as an alter ego. I visualized her on a regular basis. She was me, but braver and bigger, clearer, more grounded. She carried herself differently. She spoke with more certainty. She didn't apologize for existing. I began asking myself, what would she do? And then I'd try to make choices like she would. At first, I felt like I was pretending to be someone else. But the kind of wild thing is that over time, she stopped being this imaginary version of me, and she became me. Somewhere in this process, I realized that I was treating her like my best friend. I respected her. I was cheering for her. I was holding her in high regard. And eventually, as she and I merged more and more, that's how I began treating myself, loving myself more, treating myself better. I even have a reminder set on my phone twice a day that says, embody her. So here's the invitation. Create your own alter ego. Name her if you want. Describe her, visualize her, see her. How does she stand, walk, hold herself? Then start making tiny choices through her eyes. And then eventually she won't be your alter ego anymore. She'll just be you, fully lived, fully aligned, on her way toward actualization. Why does this work? Everything is energy. Einstein, Tesla, so many other brilliant minds, scientists, mathematicians have taught us this. Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And with E equals mc squared, Einstein showed us that energy and matter are interchangeable. He said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. So it's not just about thinking differently. It's about aligning your whole being. I mean, your thoughts, yes, but also your feelings and even your body. The brain creates the thought, the heart amplifies it with feeling, and the body acts it out through daily choices. When these three are in coherence, you've got that alignment, and you're no longer just wishing, you are broadcasting, and something synchronistic happens. So what does that mean? It means that your identity isn't just a story you tell yourself. It's a frequency you're broadcasting. Your thoughts carry electrical signals. Your emotions add magnetic resonance, and together They create a signal that tells the world, this is who I am. This isn't magical thinking. It's the process of aligning your inner state with the reality that you want to live. Your inner identity says, I'm behind, I'm invisible, I'm not ready yet. That's the frequency you're going to send out. But when you shift into, I am already her right now, your frequency changes and life begins to meet you at that level. So we often think that change has to be massive, overnight, shabam, reinvent yourself, burn it all down and rise from the ashes like the phoenix goddess you are. But in reality, change happens in tiny, ordinary decisions. We make decisions or choices a million times a day. It's not about becoming someone else someday. It's about choosing to make small shifts today. Ask yourself, if I were her, how would I walk into this room? If I were her, what would I order at lunch? If I were her, would I scroll Instagram for 30 minutes or would I call the friend I've been thinking about? Every time you make one of these choices, you're tuning yourself to the frequency of your highest identity. So let's ground this into a few practical things that you can put into action this week. The first of them, the morning check-in. As soon as you wake up, ask yourself, what would she do first? And be sure you do this before you pick up your phone. Number 2, visualization as identity rehearsal. What does it feel like to be her? What does it feel like in that highest self, in the body of that highest self, in the mind of that highest self? What does it feel like? Feel it. Visualize yourself from the destination, not toward the destination. Number 3, body language reset. Soften your shoulders, lift your chin, take up space. Sometimes becoming her starts in your posture. These are embodiment practices. What does embody even mean? It literally means to take something intangible, a thought, an idea, a feeling, and give it a visible, concrete form. What better way to put this into practice? For me, even my fasting practice and the power posing that we talked about, standing like Wonder Woman, these are ways to reset, to reclaim the energy and thus embody my highest self. Number 4, the best friend filter. If you wouldn't say it to your best friend, don't say it to yourself. It's as simple as that. Number 5, micro choices. We talked about this a little bit. At lunch today, ask yourself, if I were already her, what would I order? How would I sit? These sound like small things, but it's these tiny shifts that add up. Number 6, an energy reset. After you have a difficult conversation, a draining interaction, stand up, shake out your arms, shake your body, and imagine physically brushing energy off your body. Number 7, have an anchor habit. This is one small daily ritual. Maybe it's lighting a candle, journaling, a small walk. Maybe it's putting on a specific song, something that connects you to her frequency. Number 8 is a detachment ritual. Have you ever wanted something so bad that you grip it almost in desperation? That energy will actually repel what you desire. It's an energetic paradox, and when you need something, you push it away. When you release it, it comes closer. And I know this sounds all mystical and wooey, but science actually does back this up. From a psychology and biology perspective, when we desperately need something, whether it's love, money, clarity, we enter the state of stress and our body releases cortisol and the nervous system tightens and we become hyper-focused on the lack of the thing. Psychologists call this attentional narrowing. We literally see fewer possibilities because our brain is stuck in survival mode. It's a frantic energy and it actually repels opportunities and even people. They can feel the tension from the energy you're giving off. But when we relax, release, let go, stop gripping so tightly, our nervous system shifts toward regulation. Our cortisol lowers, oxytocin and dopamine rise, and our body says, whew, it's okay to be safe. We're safe now. And in this state, we're more creative, we're more magnetic. We notice solutions and ideas that we didn't see before. When you look at this from a physics standpoint with the law of attraction, talking about frequency and energy, needing sends out the frequency of lack. I don't have it. I'm afraid it won't come. Something's missing. That's the signal we're broadcasting. But releasing need flips the signal. It says, I trust it's coming. I already am whole. I can relax into receiving. Physics teaches us that like attracts like. That's the law of attraction. So when your inner frequency shifts from lack to enough, you attract experiences that match that. One more. Told you I was going to go off on a tangent on this one. I just want to make you understand that the science backs this up. This isn't just this wooey kind of thing that people talk about. This is science-based. This is all based in reality. So from quantum mechanics, we talk about something that's called the observation effect. Particles exist in infinite potential until they are observed. So our focus collapses this wave of possibilities into one outcome. We talked about this a couple episodes back, and if you haven't listened to that one yet, I would recommend looking up the double slit experiment on YouTube for further scientific explanation on this one. If your focus is on not having, you collapse reality toward more not having. But when you let go, your observation shifts to openness, and then more possibilities can then take shape and can be available to collapse into the reality. So this paradox is not really a paradox at all. It's biology, it's psychology, it's physics, and they're all saying the same thing. Clingy, needy energy signals lack, scarcity, while relaxed, trusting energy signals enoughness and magnetizes what you want. I think we've all experienced something like this happening. The second we stop obsessing desperately over something, then it comes into our life. So after that hugely lengthy description, which I might edit out, we'll see, the practical tip boils down to, at the end of the day, write your desire on paper, fold it, put it in a box or a jar, and tell yourself, this is being handled. My job is to live as if it is already in place. So why does this work? Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. If you consistently embody this identity, even in small ways, your brain believes it. You are literally rewiring your identity. You're not faking it, you are rehearsing truth. And over time, that rehearsal becomes reality. I mean, we have to practice everything we do, right? Did you come out of the womb knowing how to walk or read? No, of course not. You had to practice. You had to learn and practice. Does a surgeon automatically know how to take out a gallbladder? No, they have to practice. When you see yourself as a certain person, for example, I don't eat sugar. I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker. That becomes your identity. And this isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about allowing yourself to finally live as the person you've always known was inside you. But I want to be clear about something. Not becoming her right away doesn't mean you're failing. Do not let yourself get caught in the shame trap. Sometimes the delay is about preparation. Sometimes it's about protection. We all know how strong our ego is. And we know how protective our subconscious is. We can simply say, thank you for wanting to protect me, but I got this. And sometimes it's about building the identity that can actually hold what you're asking for. Why do most lottery winners lose their fortunes within years? because their identity hasn't shifted and the old one doesn't yet know how to allow for that much money. The concept is called energetic congruence. You can't just think abundance while feeling unworthy. Most of my clients come to me knowing that they want more out of their life. But often the beginning work is to create the foundation to even be able to hold more, to allow themselves to feel safe with having more, with being more. So I'd like to leave you with a journal prompt, something to sit with this week and journal about, ponder on, whatever works for you. If my highest self walked beside me today, what's the first thing she'd ask me to do differently? So here is your reminder, my friend. You don't have to wait until everything is perfect to embody who you are. Identity is frequency, and you can tune into that frequency right now. You are not behind. You're in the perfect place to shift identity and energy into alignment. Walk through life like you are meant to be there, because you are. The universe meets you where you are, but I like to believe that it also rises to meet you wherever you're brave enough to go. If this episode gave you something to think about, share it with a friend who you think might be interested. I'd also love to hear your alter ego story. Share her name or her qualities with me on Instagram at Edge of Rail Podcast. Or if you're navigating a season of change and feeling unsure about who you are without the roles you've always carried, you don't have to figure it out alone. Let's talk. I would love to support you in finding your way back to yourself. There's a link in the show notes where you can book a free discovery call with me. As always, please rate and review this podcast so that we can reach more amazing women like you who can totally use support, encouragement, and knowledge. And remember, you're not lost. You're on the edge of something real. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Love you. Bye-bye.